build up the kind of what I believe is a cultural renaissance. And that really starts with artistic expression, in my very humble opinion. So that is what Creative Chaos is all about. And of course, Creative Chaos is always sponsored by Flip City Magazine, the magazine that me and my husband publish. And I did a little editing on a previous promotional video that I want to play now.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
We're so punk rock. I love Flip City Magazine so much. And not only because it's me and my husband and our awesome contributors that are making a really cool thing. It just really is a cool thing. And I want to take a moment to address something that came into my email today. It was sent from a major supporter of the Flip City mission. It's a reader from Canada that I have regular correspondence with via email. Over the past year, and I now consider him a friend. And this is a picture of my friend chillin' with the Flip City branded tinfoil hat, because we need to keep him protected. And he was kind enough, I believe he was the very first person to send me back a picture reading the magazine, wearing the tinfoil hat, and it's still probably one of my most favorite pictures. So my friend, he wrote today, I've been thinking about how you made something out of nothing with no help from anybody. That's a mighty admirable accomplishment. Not a gimmick, a solid object, a product of labor and effort, grit and determination, no help from no one. Now, what I have to address about this is my buddy, yes, grit, determination, absolutely. You need to have that to independently publish something that says all the quiet parts out loud. But we did have help. We would not have been able to make this possible without garnering the attention of some influencers, most notably Woke Societies, who was brave enough to tell his growing and insanely supportive audience that we existed, and then the Salty Cracker for telling the Salty Army to go and support it, and they did. Then various other influencers, you saw James Corbett, and quite frankly in there saying really nice things about Flip City, and that they love the Flip City mission and product. And my friend, of course, wasn't wrong. It is all about grit and determination. It is not easy to independently publish something, especially on a quarterly schedule. And I have to thank our readers as well. We have the most supportive readers that seem to be nowhere online. I cannot get a like or a retweet to save my life. I mean, it's very rare. I'd really, if you are a reader of Flip City and you're online, please hit us up online. Tell us publicly you love us, because it is morale boosting. And anybody else that knows what Flip City is, has known for years, and has never pulled the trigger to subscribe, please go subscribe. We could use your support and talk to us online, because that's morale boosting as well. So you can find us at flipcitymag.com. If you're not sure you're going to like it, we have a free magazine, but at flipcitymag.com, you can link through to our store and buy a subscription or even buy some past issues. And it comes with that cool tinfoil hat, which I do not have one here to show you, but my friend was wearing one in that video. So thank you for allowing me to plug Flip City. I love it. Readers love it. Some influencers love it. Others hate it, but I think only the right people hate it. So I'm okay with that. All right. Now, normally this is a time that I bring in my sidekick Batman, but he is still on vacation in Peru. And he sent pictures. Let's take a look. Oh my gosh, I think the bat suit got a little hot. We've been seeing him in the bat suit the last few weeks. And now we see Bruce Wayne on the top of the world, Ma. Looks like his hot Peruvian girlfriend might be over there to the right. He went and saw Machu Picchu again. I guess they know Bruce Wayne on a bus. And then there he is being silly, being sacrificed on an altar and then buried in a tomb is what it looks like to me. So we miss you, Batman, Bruce Wayne, and can't wait to have you back. I think we might have only a couple more weeks to wait until Batman comes back. So now I'm super excited to welcome my guest tonight. He's somebody that I think is way cooler than me. I think it's because of the way he talks, but I'm going to read him in here. Artful Dodger is a couch surfing and self-described digital graffiti artist that rose to the unlikely social media prominence on Truth Social, of all places. Borrowing the name of Rapscallion Pickpocket from Oliver Twist, he also borrows and repurposes design and illustration elements from within the deep and often smelly bowels of the interzones. The style of Dodger's graphic art is recognizable by its subject matter and hidden Easter eggs within each new design, and there's plenty of those. If I were to make a knee-jerk judgment based on his art, I'd say Dodger might just be a dangerous MAGA extremist, not worthy of scrubbing the toilets at the FEMA camp. He'll definitely call home soon enough. So let's bring him in, and I'm excited to engage in some wrongthink. What is up, Dodger?
Hi.
Hi.
Come on. Flip City.
You know, we're pretty punk rock, right?
A little bit. I like it. It's definitely my speed.
Good. I'm glad. And thank you so much. And we'll be looking at these a little bit later, for making 2 different magazine style cover promotions for the stream. Who
Sure.
does that? Who does that?
I do.
You do.
All the time.
I know. I see you do it all the time. You're like, I made a friend. Look, I made a friend, and here's a cool piece of art for them because I love them already.
I made you a picture. You can put it on your fridge. And hi.
Yeah. Well, I think when we connected over my Kitty Phillips profile over on X, because I'm weird and I don't use my real name on social media because I have social media anxiety, and just being a fake name, that's enough for me to be like, okay, well, I'll be a social media.
Oh yeah. You can use a fake name, but if you're effective, they will quickly unravel that sweater for you.
Oh yeah, and that wasn't even really my purpose. It was just kind of to get over the social media anxiety and start participating, because everybody's fucking fake on social media anyway. So
most everybody. I'm not. I'm very real.
Well, your real name's not on there, so you're a little fake.
Well,
I doubt
Thomas Shinebox is my real name.
Your last name is not Shinesbox.
Well, I'm not giving my pedigree info out. Like, I'm not daring people to ruin my future. But
well, you know, it's actually interesting because that was something that we were wondering if me and my husband were going to do when we launched Flip City, because it's rather savage, and and we were afraid of being doxxed, all that kind of stuff. But then we quickly realized we're doing this as a real business. We are an LLC. So all of our information's out there anyway. So it takes a couple of steps if somebody wanted to dox us anyway. And it's like, okay, let's just use our real names.
It's a good point. And honestly, like, you have to be really moving mountains against these people for them to, like, try to affect your finances.
Yeah. Well, we were really hoping to really move mountains, and we're still on that mission to do so.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you're one of the only acts in town, really, so to speak, that's doing what you do. Like, I fell in love with it as soon as I found out about it. And I found out about it from our friend Rise, with Rise Attire. And they told me about Flip City. And I'm like, what's that? Because prior to all this meme stuff, like, I don't use social media. I didn't have profiles. So I'm learning about everybody brand new over these last couple years. And I was pumped to see that somebody's taken print media as seriously as you do, as you guys do. I mean, that's my background.
Yeah, I think some of the best compliments we've received about doing this in print is people have said things like, okay, I'll see this similar type of content online all the time, and it doesn't make a dent. But when I'm holding it in my hands, it's slapping me in the face at how savage this is. And I can't believe people are printing the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, and it's something that you can hold on to and pull out 20 years from now. And maybe some silly articles and cartoons, but what it represents in the moment in time in history that caused it to be here. Like, that's what the tangible items are. My favorite.
Yeah, we have one subscriber, and he's been a subscriber since near the beginning. That occasionally, and this happens occasionally, so any subscribers that out there that hear this message, occasionally stuff gets lost in the mail and we replace it. So he's contacted me a couple of times because it's gotten lost in the mail. And what he's doing, he's never actually opened a print magazine because he's saving them all for when his baby grandson is old enough to handle Flip City content. He wants to look back on it.
That's the coolest.
I thought it was really cool. I got a little mad at him though, because I'm like, dude, you're not reading this.
Right.
You're not reading this. So I gave him a free digital subscription. So
I was
at least he can look at the content and then make a correct judgment as to when he can show his grandson.
Smart. That's how you do it.
I try. Well, you had mentioned, getting started on Truth and not really knowing, what was going on in social media land, which I try to not know what's going on in social media land all the time still. Just tell me kind of what the experience was of getting started on True Social and then getting, I wouldn't say famous, because that's still a small thing, but
famous.
You're kind of like you're like True Social famous, which take that for what it is.
Hey, I'll take it. Why not?
Yeah.
So back then, when I first got started, what caused? Okay, so I got arrested, right? And I'm not proud of it, but it happened. And so part of me turning my life around towards something more productive and personally fulfilling was quitting drinking and changing the art medium that I was working on, which was simple illustration, into something more challenging. So I chose woodwork, and I went balls deep into it, unplugged from everything. I went a whole year without even seeing anybody socially, talking to a friend or anything, just all day, every day, chisels and like all primitive tools. And when my hands would get like beat up and numb from like banging away on like a wood sculpture or something, I would get on my phone and make these stupid pictures. Like, I wasn't aware of what memes were or like any of that stuff. I saw some pictures that were funny with Trump, and I was like, oh, I could do that. So that's what I would do, like when I was resting my hands. And by the time Truth rolled around and was public, I had like 10,000 images made. They're nothing like what I do now, but they were different than anybody, I guess, had been used to on social media. Because when it came live and I started dropping them, I got just, that's not a meme. You can't put yourself in the picture. That's not like, everybody's telling me what it's not. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck it is, buddy. Like, I made them. I got like a lot of them. So I'm going to post them. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's really interesting, because that's something too in this world of internet insanity, where it seems there's not many rules. When you find out how many fucking rules there are that you need to abide by to like fit in the box, in the thinking box of people. Yeah. I think that's maybe why we don't have a giant social media presence. People don't know what box to put us in.
Well, you got to start pissing them off first, and that's how you get their attention. And they'll send you all the hate tweets and all that nonsense, but then everybody finds you.
Okay. I guess we just need to practice being more controversial. I had a really controversial idea earlier today that would piss off probably about 75% of our audience, but I decided, we need to keep them. Hey,
they'll stick around. They'll get over
it. Dodger, real quick. I always forget to do this before bringing in my guest. I forget to shout out who's in chat. So I just wanted to say what is up to Trenchmouth over on Rumble. Thank you for joining us over there. I cannot figure out how they mark views over on Rumble. And Lady Mimi on Pilled, and Ghost Pepper and Jabruskis. And I know Disco Daphne popped in and said, what's up to you? I super thank that lady for always sharing our stuff.
She's huge out there.
She's awesome. Like, I love Disco Daphne, and I see her any chat that I pop in over on Pilled. She's always there and says hello with a heart. And Salty D, what is up? And then over on YouTube, our lead parody artist, Ben Sullivan, and Good Stuff Kate popped in and said, what's up? So that is who is active in chat. All right, we can go back to talking.
Well, I'm such a weirdo with what I think is possible within this social media stuff. And in my humble opinion, most people are lazy. So when I was putting together the idea behind Artful Dodger, I wanted people to be curious about the person itself, not me, but who Dodger was. So I planted all of these seeds previously with using Artful Dodger's real name from Charles Dickens, which is Jack Dawkins. And I have a signature that I signed the pictures with. And the idea was that the character was part of it, like a Ghost in the Machine type thing, and would illustrate the stories, the news stories, the profiles, whatever in these scenes that would then be shared with whatever article was relevant. Because we all know that most people on social media, it's just swipe, 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 swipe. But so you got to give them something to stop on. And that was the idea behind the pictures, is I would try and, as surgically as I could, depict with my style and attitude what that topic of the day was. And it went well for a little bit. And then people didn't like me doing it. So it got weird. But it's still kind of the original idea.
Give me an example of what people were saying because they didn't like what you were doing. Like, I just don't understand how that's even why people that consider themselves red pilled or MAGA or whatever would have a problem with what you're doing. That's
an excellent question. I
mean, would they give you reasons? Like, I don't like this because
they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't ask me what it was I was doing. So it would come across to a lot of these people that I'm just this big arrogant jerk who thinks the world of myself. When if you knew me, you would know, like, I'm like the homeless dude. I bounce around on couches. I got head trauma from getting jumped and robbed. Like, my story's horrifying, but it's like I can put the version that I wish I was in a picture, like superpowers or ladies, you know, all these different things that I know I'm not, but they didn't like the reaction that it would get because it was new, and influencers were sharing me, and it was blowing me up, and it wasn't the purest mentality. Like, you're not supposed to be part of it. These are supposed to be this, that, and the other. It's like, I don't even know what the word means, homie. Like, I'm just making stuff that I want to see.
Right.
Like,
well, so they were jealous of your self-depicted swagger, basically.
I have to assume, because I've even to this day, years into it, I've never just like been scrolling, seen somebody and be like, you know what? Fuck that guy. I'm going to go just pissing his Cheerios for no reason. I'm just going to start messing with what he's built. Like, that's just stupid to me. Counterproductive. And it's not how you get an army of different personalities shoulder to shoulder to face off against big evil. But that's what MAGA does. Like, sadly, it's tribalized. It's
very much. And it seems like there's a lot of demoralization of one another.
Like,
and that's
what is so hard?
It literally hurts my feelings when people say mean things about what we're doing. I'm like, dude, this is like my life right now. And
same. Like, asshole. I act like it doesn't, but I also come from like a rough background in a rough area. You don't get to just say stupid shit like that to me and walk away clean. Like, I got nothing but time. I'm going to saturate the internet with hilarious and beautiful likenesses of you and really questionable imagery, and make sure that anybody searching your LinkedIn is going to be like, wait, what are all these film scenes and posters that you're appearing in? It's like, oh yeah, shit.
Yeah,
you gotta have consequences for it.
Well, and that's the thing. I appreciate that you're doing it. With me in particular, I don't think I'd ever do that, because it just seems like it's taking away valuable time from building my business. And you're probably a fucking nobody anyway, you know? So I'm just gonna fucking ignore you.
What they always are, but I hope, like, so a lot of this stuff that I do with the art, I'm mirroring mainstream methodology as far as formatting and references. Like, everything is surgical. I use a lot of Americana, fine art, pop culture references, and I'm trying to garner interest from people who are more into my graffiti, hip hop street type vibe, to like look into the more sophisticated parts of culture that inspired me. But at the same time, I want conservatives to stand up for themselves. Like, this turning the other cheek bullshit has got to be just the most dizzying, exhausting thing ever. Like, these people are soft. With a little bit of wit and some panache behind it, you can not only roast them, but make the roast something that's remembered.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something I've seen plenty of on social media, as far as conservatives slapping down, you know, the left or whatever. Memers are good at it, but like, just your regular everyday conservative, they have to preface their joke with, hey, I just want to let you know this is a joke. And then they make the joke. And I'm like, joke's lost. Sorry,
yeah,
not comedy.
Sorry, Slick. That's not the right delivery.
Yeah, and you need to be absolutely unapologetic for it.
Our side is easily offended by language or references that don't jive with that specific viewer at the time. Like, they'll tell you about it, all these things, and it's like, dude, you're missing the bigger picture. It's like, we're fighting an uphill battle against anything entertainment oriented, whether it be films, music, print media, even fashion. So
everything entertainment,
everything. And so you have to be able to be, I hate the word edgy. Edgy's like such a shitty term, but you have to be able to, you know, I knew you did.
You're like, oh, cringe, Christy.
That's in her top 5 adjectives used, I'm sure. No, but I mean, it's like if you want anybody outside of our lane to look at it, you have to be able to put out stuff that isn't star spangled and has a prayer attached. Like, it's okay to not do that all the time in everything. And I'll tell you a quick story example of that is I do stuff with Severanon, his show I'm on all the time. But he was walking out of his building in New York, and his neighbor, this black dude, hollered at him when he saw him in the streets, commented on his jacket, and he's like, "Oh, I thought that was an Artful Dodger." And he's like, "Yo, how do you know that name?" Because there's other artists that actually use the name as well. And he's like, "Yo, somebody turned me on to it. I got one of his hoodies just arrived. I just ordered it and it got here last week." He's like, "You got to show me." And it was one of my Rise Attire hoodies where the character's holding up a dead Mickey Mouse. And it's like, dude, that guy is not a Republican. He's definitely not MAGA, probably not even politically minded, but the art grabbed him. And it's like, I have so many of those weird stories where it's like, it's the right path. It's like my buddy in New York had a direct, like, whoa, all right, something's happening. So it's like the art can do it.
Yeah, and that is very much proof of concept. I mean, how weird though that connection was made. Like Severanon, and you happen to be like close to him because you're not close to a whole bunch of people,
right?
You know,
it gets. My story is weird. Like, okay, before Truth was available in any other countries internationally, it was just America, and I get a message that, "Check it out, dude, your picture is going around the UK." And so it was like, it wasn't a very, punchy or poignant meme or anything like that, but it was like, I'm only posting on Truth. Truth's not available yet in the UK, but my art posted here has made it over there. So it's like, it's another little check mark. Like, those are the trophies that I'm after. Like, I don't expect anything big to come out of this. It's just these impressions that people make on me. I like to let them know that their work did make an impression, and if I get to work with them, then that's, boom, goes on the mantle.
Well,
and, I mean, it's full.
Something that really hit me with your social posts over on True Social, because I guess we just kind of mutually got to know who each other were without saying much to one another because of our connection through Rise Attire. But I loved your hashtag Art Saves the World. Like, what made you come up with that? Was that just kind of like it popped in your head and you're like, okay, that's gonna be my hashtag?
No, not at all. So Art Saves the World is the concept, and Andrew Breitbart commented on it back in the day. Everything is downstream from art. It's like every single soul that's been on this planet.
I'll tell you the exact quote because I use it all the time.
Go.
Culture is downstream from politics. No, politics is downstream from culture.
You blew it.
I did.
But I mean, it's true. So the way I say it is like every soul that's been on Earth has in one way or another made their mark, whether a finger in the dirt or a cave painting or a meme. And society is shaped by the arts. And culture is shaped by the arts. Culture then shapes society. Society then shapes and picks the government that we live under. So if you can master messaging, whether it be through song, a still image, whatever your art form is, it's got power to change hearts, to move societies in different directions. And that's why the artist is such a target. It's, if you're effective, trust me, you're on the radar. I've got screen grabs of a freaking local Dallas police helicopter taking off from the local airport. I got the radar tracking it right to me, pins me, and flies back. It was the only place it went, was right here above me. And that was like in the beginning. I was also pretending that I was using satellites and other trolling that was pretty accurate. So I'll post it in the comments on the stream.
Yeah,
I've had more law enforcement engagement from my images than most pot dealers.
it's very, I'm really hoping that never happens to us, because that would be quite scary. But there have been paranoid times where, like, within 1 year, I had a hummingbird buzz my face like 5 different times in that year, and I'm like,
a hummingbird?
That is fucking weird. Yeah, dude, birds ain't real.
I believe in all that stuff. Like,
and also a drone, because I live somewhat rurally for Southern California, especially, and being out in the field right next to my house with my dogs, and there's a fucking drone. Like, I'm like, what?
I'm watching.
Why here? But people fly drones for fun. So
I mean, I'm definitely paranoid based on all the ass whippings I've gotten, but like, I would, dude, you know what kind of legend you would be if you got arrested for your stupid, like, my shit is so dumb. It's like, if law chased me for it, dude, I would go on the longest, most hilarious OJ run TV had ever seen. I'd have homies in country counties down south setting up dirt bikes with a full tank of gas for me to ditch one vehicle.
Really?
Like, you ain't catching me. I'm gonna run just because
you're set up to run.
Running?
That's awesome.
It's like, he made a meme. It was fucking savage.
Oh my God, that would be awesome.
That would be hilarious.
Well, we have a yardstick for measuring how successful we've become, and we cannot wait to have a satire magazine land on the ADL terrorist watch list. It's like, yes,
it's a noble goal you have.
Yes. It definitely is.
We've noticed.
I wanted to bring up your art borrowing, and cause if you can bring up that image, the Dodd Mac. No, not that one. The Dodd
one
Mac.
That I stole from images. From your people.
He stole it. No. Oh, yep. You had it before. There we go. Nope. There. That one. All right. So.
That shit's fire.
Yeah. It is fire. The original, and yours is all right.
I'm talking about the original. Yeah, no, yes. The original. Mine is for purpose, but I didn't realize that was somebody that I knew. I love it.
Right. And later tonight during the branded section, we are going to do a piece that is also illustrated by Dave McDowell. For he's probably one of our most prolific artists because he's fast and he's cheap. And we love him.
Incredible.
And he actually, one of our favorite quotes from Dave McDowell when he started working with us was, I willed Flip City magazine into existence. I wanted something like this to happen so I could, contribute to it. It is
the Jedi,
real.
The Force, all of it.
So thank you, Dave McDowell, for willing Flip City magazine into existence so that we can publish you. Anyway, on the left is Dave McDowell's original, and on the right was what you did. So where do you find your art, and do you have any misgivings about using it without crediting the original artist?
Fuck no. Not until people are nice to me. I'll start giving credit when people don't treat me like shit. But what I do, so the whole methodology is, it goes back into designing the profile. Like, Artful Dodger was a pickpocket. He stole for his community. And so the idea is I acquire, in my opinion, the very best examples of whatever kind of imagery I'm trying to use for any given picture. It's actually supposed to end up being like a hat tip. Like, if I use your shit, it's because I do like hours long asset aggregation. I'll save 50 million examples of a top hat just to figure out, oh yeah, I want the Abraham Lincoln beaver pelt stovepipe. and I have one. I have a photo of it that I actually took, which is a silly thing that I went through. But yeah, no. So I think that's awesome. Shout out to, what was his last name? Metzel?
McDowell.
David McDowell.
Yep, David
Incredible
McDowell.
work, man.
He is prolific, and I would say do this. Don't steal it now that you know him.
Don't tell me what to do.
Okay, I will.
No. It's not stealing. Number one, like I don't sell stuff like that.
No,
like,
and you know what? I think that probably is where the line would probably be drawn.
Definitely,
you know?
Yeah. No,
as far as ethics goes, you know.
Well, there's some, like when I'm stealing from the left, like the logos and everything, and retooling them into my own, like that's actually something I'm not looking.
That's satire and parody, though.
It can be. There's the 10% rule where you have to change an original image at least 10% from its original form to fall out of legal liability for copyright infringement. And then a lot of things like the name Artful Dodger, that's public domain after X amount of years. So I mean, I've looked into it, but I also, like, what kind of badass feather in your cap is that if, like, you could get Disney's attention and they write you a cease and desist? Like, I would frame that thing. It'd be on my wall.
Yeah.
And I'd move on from them. But it's like, yeah, I'm definitely stealing to get attention. And that's, I mean, to me, that's exactly what memeing is. Even like the purists that do it, that I hold up as like comedic geniuses, those people are working with Mercury, where you can just take an image, write a setup and then a punchline, and it goes viral with a whole new context and meaning. Like, I can't do that. But what I can do is take an existing image that has a meaning behind it and retool it completely to still hold that meaning, but in a different frame of reference.
Yeah, you know, that is an interesting kind of psychological profile of the memer, and maybe also why they're a little bit crazy is that they can do that, because I can't figure out how to do it either. I'm like, that's pretty fucking funny, but I wouldn't have thought of that.
You better not point it at me, though, because I'll pull up on a motherfucker. It's like, don't let me
with more effort.
Exactly. Like, the pictures will be hilarious, but don't let me feel like you're really targeting me, because I'll crowdsource a plane ticket and be on your front porch like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Backs.
See, I knew
credit scene.
I knew you were a scary guy, and it was dangerous to bring you on my show.
I mean, you have to be. At least if you're me. I got like the young guy look, and I'm not that huge. So from my whole 20s and everything, I would be hanging out with big bruisers and probably a lot of criminals, if I'm being quite honest, at these little shithole bars. But you always run into somebody that's got a chip on their shoulder from somewhere else, and they want to just try and start shit. They always pick me. Always. And
well, I have the advantage of being a woman, and my technique is being really nice. I had a friend tell me once that nobody can ever be really mean or rude to you, because it'd be like punching a puppy dog.
That's my technique. Sweet face. You do. It's like, you can't be mean to her. Look, stop.
I'm like, then I have big blue eyes.
Me too. See, maybe that's it. It's the blue eyes.
Maybe. Blue eyes are the best.
Definitely.
All right. Well, I think I would love to start going into our segments. Are you cool with that?
Sure.
All right.
Am I supposed to read something?
That'll happen near the end, but we've got a few segments here. So first, we're gonna go into our mansplain, and there's our little stinger. And I had a question, because you went into this briefly while we spoke privately, and it was about marketing and how to make an image something that people want to click in kind of the screaming digital ones and zeros online. And because I'm a girl, it kind of went in one ear and out the other.
Sure.
And also for the benefit of our audience, and because I'll take notes this time, can you tell me more?
Yeah.
Can you explain it to me again? What's
sure,
going
young
on
lady. Have a seat, and I'll explain everything. So, all right. So what we're doing here tonight, like, you asked me when we were talking about details and stuff for the show, like, what you seem to be doing a lot of interviews. Like, why? It's a really valid question. Like, who the fuck are you? Right? And
to want to interview people.
And I'm nobody. Like, but what I'm doing is I've never stopped my own private attempts at getting with other content creators to help promote them. I believe in promoting. I believe in cross promoting. I believe it not only strengthens one brand, but you get audience bleed over and everybody's numbers grow when done properly. So I have my new merch store, Tommy Shinebox. I've just recently gotten in real good with Triple OG World Champ John Ward, and he's been using a lot of my art. And so I've got these cool things going on, but then one show asked me for an interview, and then you did as well. Actually, you asked first. So we scheduled it to where they would kind of bump up. And the idea is that you can, again, mimic what mainstream does with marketing a new intellectual property, like a movie. It's like you'll have teasers, you'll have trailers, you'll have the director coming on a show and talking about everything. If you, the content creator, mimic this crazy stuff that I'm trying, like you'll see a reaction in all of your numbers. And it's like I sold a bunch of merch after the first interview because I got with John and I was like, hey, to capitalize on this, if you would do me a huge favor and come on to Severe's with me afterwards and say hi to our audience and stuff, then I can promote that at the end of the interview and we can piggyback it leading into the weekend where on the show we'll be promoting your Sunday broadcast. So it's all about the marketing aspect of what doing this kind of thing can lead to. And it also gives a more serious veneer to whatever the property is. It's like I've got a nice reputation across platforms just because people know I'm serious.
Right.
Like, whether it's with my clapbacks at bullies or with the projects that I'm pursuing, like I'm not doing it just to shitpost. It's like I'm trying to show people, like, look, you could copy these methods from the memes, which are mainstream print ad usage. Like the whole thing, I did tabloid magazines after finding out the demographic was primarily middle-aged women. I'm like, all right, I'll start by putting all these movie stars that are currently popular with the little mask on, and they'll be Dodger. And it worked. Like I had emails from little sweet old ladies, like, you should meet my granddaughter. And like, I'm like, do you know that I'm not Chris Hemsworth, Bradley Cooper, and the other dude? Like,
but you are easy on the eyes, I just gotta say. So
thank you. Well, that backfired on me too, because I was like, look, guys, I'm not. It really started to become a problem. Like I couldn't get other engagement other than like flirty little sweet old ladies. So I was like, here's my face. It's got a lot of marks on it. It's like, see, I'm not.
Oh, they didn't stop. They didn't stop. They're like, ooh, look at him. He's savage.
It triple backfired with teaming up with Rise because I designed a whole series of portraits in the same style, and I was so excited about working with other creative people. We took a vote on which portrait would be the main one, and it was meant to be Trump's version of the one that you can get, which is my face. It's like nobody's gonna buy my face, guys.
Well, I'm going to take 1 second because I rarely get donations over on Pilled, maybe every other stream. And people have been dropping cans. Thank you so much to Spazzo Yeti for 2 cans and Beach Bum and Mermaid 13 for 3 cans. See, you did say you bring good fortune.
We do, yeah.
You sure do.
And here's the secret recipe as to why. It's because I'm not doing this for any other reason but what I think are the right reasons, and that's to I want people to be successful. Like, I'm not going to stop making pictures of other users. So the haters call it fame fagging or whatever, or clout chasing. And I'm not, like, trust me, like, I've had at age 18, I had a 4-hour FM radio talk show in Dallas, Fort Worth, from CBS Infinity Broadcast. I don't care about internet fame. It's stupid to me, but it's also such an untapped frontier that's like, we got a chance right now to really help mold it.
You know, the whole term clout chasing is so irritating because, of course, if you're doing something that you believe somebody should be paying attention to, especially in the culture war, you want to network. It's called networking in business, everybody. You want to network with people that are going to help you boost your profile because they like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, and you're supposed to feel ashamed for that?
Oh, dude, they want you to feel ashamed for everything. And those are the basement dwellers, the ones that have an avatar where they look like some mighty, like, Viking and have a savage name, but in reality they're fighting like type 3 diabetes, and their basement smells like Chinese food and regret. Like, these are not anybody to worry about. They're fun to make fun of. They get real mad.
Yeah.
But
hey, I just got to shout out Project Lubine for gifting a bronze tier subscription. That is my first subscription. So welcome, Beach Bum and Mermaid, to our subscription that I haven't done anything for.
You have a lot of benefits to come.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Which I believe might be a free digital copy of Flip City Magazine. I will DM you for your email.
Love it. I love it.
I thought that was cool. It shocked me. I'm like, oh my God, we have a subscriber.
I mean, we as artists, like my friend Mal is one half of Atomic Annie, a really amazing cinematic, he calls it space grunge band. And these guys, like, they're putting on another free concert tonight, which they do every week. We got Severe on, who's got a catalog of thousands of songs and multiple albums that are available, and people like me who do stuff to give you something tangible to be out in the streets with. It's like, that's exactly what they're doing for you tonight with gifting subscriptions. And like, we're the ones that you should, like, hat tip like that. Like, I hate to say it. It's like, I'm not out here to get money, but the money goes into it every time. Like, and especially people like you who are operating an actual LLC and generating print material. Like, what do you think we're gonna come up with the creative work, pump it out over hours, weeks, and months, then just give it away? Like,
but you do. I do.
But that's only because, like, I don't know how to internet, and I thought that's what everybody was doing. I got shamed so relentlessly. I was like, well, shit. All right, take what you want.
You know, I have ideas to monetize you, which I'm super excited to have met you, because I think you are a very genuine person, which is, I think, kind of hard to find in internet space. I've made friends with multiple people or friends, and then they end up like being really mean to me and hurting my feelings because it's the internet, you know. And I'm like, Christy, get a stiff upper lip. They weren't your friend in the first place. You know?
I know. I get all up in my feels too, and people turn out to be snakes in the grass. But then I make like a whole folder of images, and I don't post them. Like,
oh, really? It's like your therapy?
Well, it's cathartic, sure, but it's also like, I'm gonna see them at some point, and like, what I'm trying to avoid before this whole shit show comes to an end with the awakening is, like, I don't want to have to, like, wreck people, because I'll wreck people. Like, I don't have anything that you can take. Like, I've already been swatted. The cops have looked at all my memes and they laughed. So it's like, if anything, you're just gonna piss me off. But everybody else that I've gotten to know and have saved everything from, it's like, I could affect that, like, with jokes and not even using the name or the face. I'm slick enough with it to where everybody will know exactly who I'm talking about.
Well, people in those circles, at least.
Some of these are big enough to where they're huge people. It's like, all right. I actually have a deal for a digital billboard over Interstate 30 in downtown Dallas from a buddy, and I have a series of images that I've made, including everybody who's done messed up shit to me. And
see, that feels so good because that's also in real life trolling, which is not many people do that. You know,
no,
the IRL stuff.
If I could get away with actually like tagging without getting pinched, and then like I'm convinced the police, when they like type you in, it'll be like, oh, this guy's MAGA. Oh, it tells way more than your arrest record, I'm sure. So if like I got caught tagging again, I'd probably be thrown in isolation for the rest of my life. But I can do it online, or I can do it like this with the digital billboard that'll play during rush hour for a week right before the election.
Right. Hey, I just wanted to thank even more gold pills being thrown at me. Thanks to Dodger with all the pilled cloud over there, bringing people to actually watch my stream. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I was hoping it'd work that way. I'm like, oh, I'm in a clout chase Dodger. And he's going to be happy about it.
One. Let's get you some milk money.
Thank you.
I'm pumped. Thank you to anybody who's given you love, because you deserve it.
And it's actually beer money. Like, I think that's what I get to use my gold pills for, is beer money, or also just paying it forward in other streams of people that I really like, that not a lot of people watch, but I freaking love what they're putting out there. It seems to me over on Pilled, like I fucking love Pilled. I've been on Pilled since it launched, and I didn't really interact on it much, but I really like the people that made it. I think it is a cozy little bunker, but also a little incestuous, but that's fine. That's fine.
It's fine as long as it's fine.
Yeah.
There's been some shenanigans lately that
it seems to me the people doing the most creative, funnest, most positive streams, they get hardly any viewers. And it's all about the news. We want news. Give us more news. And I'm like, when can you have enough news? Like, I swear, you were in 3 simultaneous streams and they're all talking about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like, let's all yell at the TV together. Because that's I feel like a lot of our movement is addicted to
information.
Yeah, and thinking that they're gonna catch something that they needed to catch, like some like calm.
So FOMO.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like, dude, but like with Severe Stream, that's the whole point of what he's doing, is giving the antithesis. It's like, all right, your news day's over. Cut that shit out and come hang out, and we're just gonna be silly and listen to good music. And he takes requests, and I make fun of shit, and it's
gets
fun.
Drunk. He gets very drunk.
That's, dude, I think that's one of the funniest and like most, like you guys are missing it, because he does this thing, Sips for Ships, where he takes a shot anytime somebody puts a ship in the donations. And it's like, picture being a kid walking into Aladdin's Castle arcade with a fistful of quarters, and you're about to walk up to the Severe game, and you get to get a human drunk like quickly too, and he doesn't hold it together well. He's got quite a foul mouth when he gets turned up, and I think it's the and his silly giggles too. Like, he laughs at my jokes, which is why I stay.
Well, you're pretty funny. You know, I think you said a joke the other day that went over my head, and I was like, I was going to feel bad for you because you were self-deprecating, because, you know, that's what you do. And, sure. And I'm like, oh, sad. And you're like, bah, ha, ha. And I'm like, oh, that was a joke. Fuck.
Yeah. Like that, dude, it's one of my favorite methods. It's like you sell yourself as like the lowest that the bar could possibly go, knowing that ain't who you are at all. So everybody thinks that, oh, this guy's so homeless, he eats a jar of peanut butter barehanded because he can't get a hold of a spork to eat in his cardboard box. And so when I drop anything, it's like, wow, you did that from your cot in the homeless shelter? It's like, even better, I did it from the Buc-ee's shower while I was waiting to have my shower day that week.
Well, I gotta tell you, the alley that you're sleeping in tonight, I really fucking love that, the aesthetic of the brick wall.
Thank you.
That's a great alley.
All this stuff that we do, I totally believe in production value. It's like, yeah, you could turn on the webcam and sit right in front of it. You got a crappy background, or, you know, play with camera angles and lighting and stuff. It's like, it doesn't take anything to make things appear far different than they actually are. Like, as soon as the building owner comes out, he's probably going to have his gun and he'll scream something in Armenian at me, and it'll be a whole thing. But
well, don't forget your iPad as you're running away.
I've threatened to hit him with it. I'm like, I'll do it. You want a fresh one?
Hey, you know what? I am very curious of something that we need to transition into our conspiracy corner for me to ask you this question. So if we can hit that, cause
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't aliens.
all right, so I've been dying to know. I have my tinfoil crown on, so you know, and this is a safe space to speak conspiracy. Now I know
we're in the trust tree. Great.
Yes, we are in the trust corner. So I know, you know, you do a lot of stuff with Trump. I don't recall. Well, no. Yeah, I've seen stuff like Uncle Sam being pinned down and vaccinated and stuff. I just have to know, like, how big of a fucking conspiracy theorist you are.
Oh, huge. Like, I love it all. Like, I don't have any, like, concrete beliefs. Like, flat Earth is real, and anybody who's a glober can kick rocks. Like, I think that shit's hilarious when people are so passionate about, like, an obscure what if that they'll, like, alienate people. It's like, well, calm your tits, pal. Like, let's dial it back just a little bit. But for me, especially after what we've all gone through the last few years, I have more possible theories up on my shelf that I haven't thrown away into the wastebasket than most.
Well, you know, what kind of started you down that path? How long have you been this way?
So when I unplugged and started the woodwork, the only thing that I would have going are random podcasts or streams or like documentaries about all the weird shit that I'm into. And it could be anything from Bigfoot and cryptids to UFOs to hidden history to Tara, all that stuff, the mud flood. It's like, it's all so interesting to me. And it has a lot more evidence that you can get your hands on than the bullshit narrative that we're told is real life. So
yeah, well, like, how much, because I've kind of gone down more of the, that's the thing too. I'm not a rabbit hole diver. I'm not one of those people that's going to keep digging and digging. I have a fucking magazine to make, right? But I find things to be interesting. And I think what I'm going down more, because I even pointed this out by looking at your Twitter, is the hidden history. Like, how much of fucking history is a lie? Like, I feel like almost all of it, right?
Freaking all of it. And then you come across people, it's like, but this part's real. And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, why is the Vatican's, like, conference hall shaped like a serpent's head? It's like, that ain't Jesus. You know what I mean? It's like, I know God is real. I don't know what God is, if it's a simulation, if it's AI, if it's an alien, or if it's Sky Daddy up there in a pretty white sheet. I have no idea, but I know it's real. Like, it acts within my life on a regular basis.
Right.
Outside of that, anything could be anything. You got enough data to show me, to convince me it could, then cool. I'll remember it, bring it up, and argue with people in support of it. Because plausible doesn't mean that it's your belief. Like, I can totally tell somebody why, yeah, that's a valid theory, without actually owning it and having to embody it and be an example of a believer of. It's like, I don't need to be in a clique or under banners. It's like, I do my own thing. So it's like,
Right.
but it could be like the whole flat earth thing that everybody gets all up in a tizzy about. Like, how do you square the circle that the first photos allegedly taken by NASA were in the 40s or whatever, but Universal Studios had been using the exact perfectly like spot on model for their little intro since like 1911? It's like,
Oh,
but you didn't
shit,
get
I
a
never
picture
thought
of
of that.
it. Yeah. How did you know that's exactly what it looked like without actually getting the distance away to take the picture of it? It's like, it's all bullshit.
That's interesting. I had never thought that about the Universal logo.
Yes. How come that thing looks exactly like this ancient thing? Like, down to the proportions and everything. It's like, not all of it is made up. Like, some of it is what they call soft disclosure.
Right. Well, yeah, the whole flat earth debate or argument that goes on online just cracks me up because with me in particular, and it sounds like you kind of are similar to my mindset as far as conspiracies go, is I'll keep my mind open to all possibilities, but I'm not gonna go dig and do experiments to find out about flat earth and all that.
Exactly.
But I won't be surprised if it comes out that we live on a flat earth because I've been exposed to it and I've kept my mind open to the fact that that could be the case.
Could be. What I've really fallen in love with, which you emailed me about, is the channel My Lunch Break.
Yes.
And he takes such a unique approach to it by going after the architecture that no longer is made. It's from an antiquated era that for some reason we just can't get back to. Meanwhile, we build these shoe boxes that have a shelf life of maybe 20 years, if not even maintained.
Right.
Yet somehow these buildings exist. And then the photos, the way he goes into the photos, and then the actual lineage of it all, and shows that, look, you can't build this in a year like the official record states.
Right.
So it's like all of that. I love that shit.
Yeah. So big recommendation from both me and Dodger. Go check out My Lunch Break on YouTube. I think he's got a little bit, he's still building. I mean, he's only been doing it, I think, for a year. I think within 3 years, he's going to be smoking hot. And I don't know if you've come across this, but he promised that he's going to do a 1 hour video of his stuff once he hits 100,000 subscribers, and he's really close. So My Lunch Break on YouTube, go check him out and watch his content. Well, we're going to leave Conspiracy Corner because we're actually already over time. And I really, really, really want to get into the branding segment tonight. So what I prepared for you, and we've done it before with another guest, but I thought it was a good fit for you because we were privately talking about suicide machines, and we published this before actual suicide machines were made. And this was a piece we did a couple years ago. It was part of our Consumer Reports Guide to the Best and Worst Suicide Machines. The quickest, the easiest, the coolest. And Dodger, you're going to read basically the Consumer Reports review of 2 of the 4 that were reviewed.
Oh, perfect.
And then we're going to wrap up just kind of showing pictures of the final 2 that I did, because I don't want to keep you here all night, really. So you can read it like a pitch, however you like. And I think the next slide just starts it. So here we go.
Oh, wow. I don't know that I can read that. It's only in a small tile.
Oh, that sucks. Do you not have Cosmic Grandpa's thing pinned?
I got it. I figured out how to pin it.
Okay, cool.
All right. If you've got to go, why not take someone you love with you? That's a stroke of genius behind Schwanson's family-friendly Together model. The spacious capsule lobby offers room for four with air conditioning, beverage holders, cushioned interior, and an entertainment console, plus a 25-inch flat screen with streaming entertainment services. Rotating depositor system loads remains in a composting bin located on the underside, making this one of the most environmentally friendly models available on the market. After the compost cycle, the model can be rinsed and reused for generations. And comes with a 20-year warranty. The Together is garage storable, and available for friends and relatives to jump in anytime. The Together computer automatically forwards courtesy electronic parting messages to loved ones, reminding them how totally horrifying life on this planet really is. The perks. In the warm season, the Together doubles as a vegetable greenhouse. With its termination method, slow drip potassium chloride for ports and watching Disney Plus network. Change of mind, Together is equipped with multiple handheld emergency release controls, but there's one drawback. All occupants must agree to abort. And then there's a line that I can't see.
It is the rating. So Consumer Reports gave it 3 out of 5 skulls. So I think that kind of puts together, and we'll look at the chart at the end that compares all of the suicide machines. They put together usefulness and price and all that kind of stuff to come up with their rating. And I've got one more for you to read. We've got the Gurkland Chill Pod.
The Gurkland Chill Pod. All right. This Costco exclusive relabeled import from Germany offers high quality at a low cost, a hallmark of Gurkland products. The Chill Pod is a choice model if you have a bummed out teen or a young adult ready to pull the plug. Capsule features a cozy pillowed interior that also accommodates one small pet. Pod doubles as a phone booth, and designer earbuds help the departing check out to his or her choice of millions of tunes via Spotify Premium. The Chill Pod is mass-produced in an exciting range of interior-exterior style options. Choose from urban hip-hop, sad girl kitty, metalcore, or Marvel superheroes. Increasing your follower count is critical in life or in the afterlife. So the Chill Pod offers web broadcast capabilities to stream the big event via Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you've got to go, you can at least rack up some record likes and follows along the way. All broadcast monetization rights reserved for Gurkland International Products Incorporated. Its termination method, unbearable boredom. The power source for this model, the system runs on combined natural gas, electricity, and dashed hopes. Self-immolation cycle reduces pod into a pile of ashes in 90 minutes. It features tinted privacy glass, post-mortem makeup misting system, conceals visible acne, and as far as its performance, the Chill Pod is slow to warm up and frequently sluggish. The unit emits persistent error codes indicating it hates us, and we're ruining its life.
Yes, and that gets 2 out of 5 skulls. And there's
the ratings are harsh.
Yeah, they really are. Well, you're gonna see. We've got the Singling Songbird. Sorry, we can't give it all away for free, you guys, on the streams. And then we also have the Allegro Achiever Series Masterclass, and that one got the 5 out of 5 skulls.
That's like the Adonis model.
Yes, and as a quick reference guide, the Consumer Reports also made this handy dandy chart that gives you ratings based on speed, lack of pain, ease of use, portability, energy use, and emergency shut off. So if you
Handy.
are really interested in finding out the best suicide pod that's going to fit your life and your needs, you need to subscribe to Flip City Magazine. I believe we have the edition this was published in still for sale, but I forget which one it is. We've published 20 fucking flipping 20 flipping magazines, you guys. I got a spicy because I said the F word.
I like spice.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I think we're going to drop YouTube and continue on a little bit of an after party if you are okay with that, Dodger.
I'm hanging.
Okay, cool. So what I've got to say is thank you to the people that checked in over on YouTube. I need to find out. I will, during the intermission here, drop the link to where to find us streaming on Pilled and Rumble. Twitter, we were trying to get going tonight, but it didn't quite happen. Hopefully we'll be going on Twitter next week. And Dodger, for anybody that happens to be listening to us on YouTube, where do you want them to find you? What's the best place?
I'm on X at _real Dodger, or I'm on Truth Social at Dodger MF, which may or may not stand for motherfucker. Leave that up to.
I always thought it stood for motherfucker.
It did, but now I'm like, I wonder if I can make it like something like meme fashion. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how I can parlay it because I really like using it.
Did you say
motherfucker is part of his name? Like he's kind of dead.
Meme fetish?
Fashion.
Oh,
like
meme
to go along
fashion.
with the store, but I don't like using the word fashion. It's like it's a little bit.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, got it.
Like
and
I like looking cool. I'm not like one of them boys, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, check out if you want to check out Dodger's store, that is in the description of the video. You can just click the link from there. It is very important to ask everybody to like, share, and subscribe wherever you are. So if you haven't hit the red pill over on Pilled, please do so. Thank you for all of the donations, the gold pills over on Pilled. That was really cool.
We're still testing the function of the gold pill button. So anybody still watching, go ahead and just test it for us. Click the gold pill, select an amount, and we'll let you know that if it goes through.
Okay, that sounds like a really good
We
plan.
don't want your profiles out there to not be working. So we're doing you a favor.
Yeah. And then oh yeah, and then of course go subscribe at flipcitymag.com. If you're not sure you're going to like what we do, we have a free digital magazine that you can just sign up for our email list and we email it to you immediately. So you can check us out that way. My next week's guest, I did not write in, so I forgot who it was, but every Thursday at 6:00, check back with Creative Chaos. We always have somebody that's, I try to pick people that are going to be cool and fun and all that kind of stuff. So check back next week, Thursday, 6 p.m.
Tough act to follow right here. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna drop YouTube. Cause I know you're a wonderful producer. I don't know if you have an intermission set up for us.
Of course I do.
Of course you do, because you rock.
Do I have time to roll a joint?
All right. Bye. Yes. Bye, YouTube.